You overshare with your friends.
Now we overshare with you. It's Amy,
Michaela.
and Rachel. This is How Girls Talk.
We're back! Welcome to our first live episode of How Girls Talk on Zoom. My name is Amy James. To my right is Michaela.
Hello, it's me. Cheers, everyone.
She's already drinking. I'm so jealous.
It's been a day. So
Just
here we
above
are.
me is Rachel.
Yeah, it's only 2:30 here, so, or I guess where you guys are as well. So good. Cheers to you. And it's a Thursday.
Thirsty Thursday.
I had, like I mentioned on the podcast, I had to reintroduce sober Amy into the house. So I haven't had any drinks since last Saturday. And today I'm letting it out. But I know that if I start at 2:30, it's going to be like, and I'll be insane. So I'm trying just like to not have a drink and consume water right now. So we're just gonna like basically go around and talk and tell some stories, and then we're gonna each do like one round of the question game where you can ask any question you want. We'll go around the horn and answer. We figured we'd do that for our first one. If you watch this and go, I wish they would have done that, let us know.
Yeah.
Where do you find us on social media again?
How Girls Talk podcast on Facebook, at How Girls Talk Pod on Twitter.
Okay, I tried to find us on Instagram so hard the other day. I'm like, we have to be here, and
we don't have an Instagram. I can create one if you'd like, but we don't have an Instagram.
No, it's totally fine. It's not a big deal. I'm not mad. Okay, so I just want to start with one small thing. Has anybody seen these online yet?
No.
What is that?
It's not something to be placed to help your period or anything.
I was going to
Not
ask if you finally got your Diva cup.
It's not a Goop product. This thing is online. They're all over the place. These little like rings for being, so they're for when you're doing like a FaceTime or taking a phone call. It's called like a selfie thing basically. Okay, so look at my screen right now. Let me show you. Hold on. I gotta find out where to push this. Okay. So like that's level 1.
Wow.
That's level 2. And then this is level 3. And you just stick it right on your phone. It clips onto your phone.
Where do I get one?
Is that crazy?
Yeah, I want one. Where do I get one?
I got it on Amazon. It was like they have them for $12. I sprung for the one that was $19.99.
Don't mind.
But it lights up your face and takes all the shadows out. Jeff hates to use it, like if we're doing a Zoom call or something. I'm like, come on, we could do like really nice picture. And he's like, it's distracting. And it kind of is, but I'm going to try to use it for a little while anyway. But $19 and you have like a fully lit face. So
Yeah, you look
I
really
don't know.
good.
I figured I'd do it. Okay. Can we start today by discussing the first photo challenge? We all just said we weren't doing any of those challenges. And then sure as shit, I got one from Fallon the other day. And I was like, okay, fine, I'll do it. And you both did it, right?
Yeah, because Rachel tagged my ass.
Well, Michaela was complaining about it. And she's like, I'm not doing this. This is stupid. So then as soon as I got nominated by a few people, I was like, Michaela's the first person I'm nominating. And if she doesn't do it, I'm going to give her so much shit. And you did it, thankfully.
Yeah, I had that along with 2 other of my friends did it, tagged me in it, and I was like, fine, I will cave. So I did it. And now today, the one I saw today was the first dance challenge. I'm like,
Yeah, no, that's too much. But I will say that Amy and Jeff's first photo is like, looks like a professional photo taken, kissing like at like sunset on the dock. And mine is outside of my college apartment, Drew and I've got a t-shirt on that says, I'd get sleazy for Ron Weasley. And it's just, I'm like, how are we that polar different? It's just embarrassing.
Okay. There's a story. First of all, I want to know, how long did it take you guys to find your first photo? Was it something because you started dating after everybody had everything on their phones? It was just easy to find?
I knew what mine was because it's such a bad picture. So it's like, I've looked at it before and been like, I know that's the first picture. We weren't dating. We weren't together. I just know that was the first picture that we had together because it's such a bad photo. And so I like knew right away. I was like, I know it's on Facebook. I know what it looks like. And I know it's ugly. And I shared it anyway.
I love the picture though, because it's you guys and you were in college. I mean, that was getting sleazy for Ron Weasley. That perfectly encapsulates that time in your life.
It just takes her as a whole. Let's be honest, takes Rachel as a whole.
I was trying to take it up a notch, but when you're right, you're right. How long did it take you, Michaela?
I knew what it was because it was like 6 months after we started dating, and it was the ACM Awards. Matt is not a picture guy, doesn't like having his picture taken ever. So I knew right away what it
6
was,
months?
what it was.
It took
Yeah.
6 months of you dating to have a picture together?
One photo?
Yep.
I bet your friends and your family didn't think that he was real. Like, send me a
Yeah.
picture. No, I don't have one.
Yeah. I mean, like, luckily they all kind of knew him because we went to high school together. But yeah, it was like, whoa, this is a monumental day when it finally happened.
Man, and how was the story behind yours, Amy? Because yours was really cute.
Okay, well, first of all, back when we took our photo, which would have been in 2005, Jeff had a really nice camera, but we hadn't transferred everything over, or we transferred over everything like 2 computers ago. So we don't even have that stuff. And I was like, well, let's try. Let's see if we can find it. And he kept saying, I think it's this one that's blown up and down below the shelf area. And there has to be something earlier before that, because we would all get together and like party and hang out. I'm like, somebody has to have a picture. So we take out his old giant camera that back when I first met him, it was like, this dude has a nice fucking camera. Like that. It was just like a monster. Yeah. And we start looking through it, and we get all the way back to when we first bought our house. So that would have been in March of 2008. Like the first time we had people over right after we moved in, like all of our hand-me-down furniture was still in there and stuff. And we're looking through, and then we come across like some photos from our honeymoon and stuff like that. And so we're just kind of like tripped down memory lane. Huh?
You didn't want to share those?
There was nothing super scandalous. There were a couple of pictures of me in a swimsuit, and all of a sudden I went over to get my drink, and I come back and Jeff is zooming in on my stomach, and I'm like, stop it.
Okay. I love that he was doing that, because I went back and was looking at photos on Instagram, like not for this reason. I was looking for a photo of me with a fish, but it was like so far back. And then there were all these photos for what would have been now 8 years ago. And I was like sitting there with Drew, and I was like, man, I'm never going to be that tiny again. Look at me in a swimsuit, like throwback. It's kind of nice to know you look like that one day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the same for me a year ago with the wedding. I'm like, probably not going to get back to that. Wish I could.
The older you get, and this is the funny part, is we're looking through it. I'm like, Jeff, you are so thin. And he was like, you look so young. And we're just like kind of jabbing each other back and forth. And I'm like, trying not to get my feelings hurt. And then we like get done, and we shut off the camera, and we finally realized the picture that was the first photo that we took. And I said, we often will be like, yeah, we're doing pretty good. We're like keeping it up. We're working, we're like, don't look that old. And then he's like, yeah, those photos really suggest otherwise. And I'm like, yeah, they do. We're not that we walk around going, we're so hot, but we thought we were doing better than we were doing better than we were. So back to the photo. It's taken at Jeff's parents' cabin, and we're on top of the boathouse, which is a flat roof. And right after we had met, he brought me up there, and there had been this thing on the Today Show that he had seen where it was a couple's kissing contest. And they wanted you to send in these photos of like some kind of really cool kiss taken someplace. And we're like, oh, well, let's try to do that. So we tried to like stage all these photos of the sun coming up and like the lake and stuff in the background. I don't even know if we ever sent it in, but that photo was the first one we ever took.
Well, lucky for you. I'll try to find a way to put the photos up here when we share this video, because they're all very different.
Very different.
They're very different, but ours was definitely like a staged picture. It wasn't like we were just kissing by the water and somebody's like, oh, I'm going to take a picture of that couple. It took a long time to get that photo. That was like social media picture taking before it was a thing.
Posting on my
in the contest.
I don't even think we submitted for the contest.
What a waste.
Jeff just wanted to kiss you.
I told you We sucked face the entire time we were there, I'm sure. I remember we stopped at, there's this like Frackaloni or Franconia that has that sculpture garden thing. Have you guys ever seen that before in Wisconsin? They have all these huge art displays, but you can kind of interact and you can go in through them. And we like made out all over that thing real hard on our way up. We were stuck at the mouth for sure.
Honeymoon phase. It's a good time.
How do you? Do you guys see how red my face is from the
No.
No, because you got that beautiful light in there, you know?
Without it,
Like, if you-
it's amazing.
if I take all my makeup off right now, so I'm doing the retinol, it's not a challenge, it's just a thing that you have to go through, as I mentioned. If I take all my makeup off and pull my hair back really tight, I can see all the white where my face like normally was. It's like one giant red mask. I think of Rachel every time. I'm like, my face is dying.
I'm waiting for my face to start peeling from the sunburn. The shoulders and chest finally started peeling.
Do you feel like you
Can
have
we see your
leprosy?
shoulder?
It's what?
Can we see your shoulder?
It's just like little specks. You wouldn't be able to see it on a camera. It's like
Do
when
you
you.
feel like you have leprosy?
I hope not.
That's how I felt when I got really
Yes,
burnt
come
in
here.
Mexico, and I started peeling when I got home, and I was like, I feel like I have leprosy, like the skin disease. Hi, Jeff.
Hey Jeff,
Hello.
he looks good too. What do you guys just dress up to stay at home?
I have not showered yet today, so
Proud of you. Atta guy.
I was just talking about how we thought we were doing so good looking young, and then we
Oh
looked
my
at those
gosh.
pictures.
yeah, really put things in perspective.
Oh my god.
Good to see you guys.
You
You
Stay healthy.
miss you.
Miss you guys too.
I've been relegated to doing any work or zooming upstairs, so I'm in her bedroom right now.
Yeah, I'm in the guest bedroom, and I'm in the same way with clothing. Since I'm quarantined in Kansas, I literally packed only workout clothes. So this is like the only T-shirt I have. It's my Baker Mayfield football T-shirt,
Yeah.
and I wore it to the bonfire that I went to last night when we sat outside. So I reek of bonfire. Yep. Sweatpants.
Colored socks on because these two don't have matches, and I just made them a match when I did laundry the other day.
Love it.
It's a thing.
It is what it is. I do want to say one thing. Our podcast is out today, the latest version, and we talked about screen time. And so I looked into it a little bit more, and I realized that you can pick apps to mark your screen time, or like limit it. So I went in and I picked Twitter and Instagram and set a max 20 minutes total for my screen time. So
Oh, wow.
if I hit 20 minutes, it will like send me a notification. It's like screen time like hit, and you probably won't be able to see it, but like
20 minutes a day?
yeah. And if you can like, can you see this at all? It's like
yeah.
it's like darkened.
Oh, yeah.
And there's like the little time next to it. So like if I click on it, it tells me you've reached your time limit for the day.
Oh, wow.
And I could
So
ignore
hold on, 20 minutes on each app or 20 minutes total?
total. And then I've like been hitting it right away in the morning, and I'm getting and then it's like I keep hitting like ignore limit, ignore limit, ignore limit. And it just makes me feel really bad about it. But I spend so much time watching videos. So I'm like, if I watch like a 4-minute video or a 5-minute video on like, an Insta story or, like the Instagram TV stuff, I'm like, there goes my time. It's gone.
Yeah.
20 minutes is not giving yourself much leeway, right?
No, but you can ignore it, but it's possible. So Michaela and I talking about like gaming. Michaela, maybe don't tell this to Matt, but you could set a limit on your gaming. Yeah. Fair enough.
We can all agree Matt will now never ever see this just because of that itty bitty part right there.
He's not allowed. He might be listening outside this door. I'm not really sure, but I hope not.
Dun dun dun.
Should we do something?
Does anybody else have any good stories? I mean, I have like a whole list of stuff and I can save some stuff for the podcast. I just been like, me, because that's how it is. I can talk for 1,000 hours, but I'm chatty anyway. And plus the only interaction I have is basically with one other person. So I think Jeff is getting sick of me like calling him downstairs with updates about nothing. He's like, I just saw you 2 minutes ago. 2 minutes ago.
But you got to tell him. That was actually my question for you guys is like, what is the dumbest fight you guys have had since being in quarantine?
Oh, let's see. I mean, the fight that I talked about before seems dumb now about not being able to use the elliptical at Jeff's mom's house.
Yeah.
But But that one, it was the most contentious thing that's happened, I would say.
I don't think we've had like an actual blow up fight. It's Drew's getting annoyed with me pushing him to do things. I'm like, I want to go fish. Can we go golf? Can we go like do something? And he's like, get it in your head. No, we can't golf. Like it's booked for 5 days. Like, no, we're not going fishing right now. Like we need to work. We need to do things. And I don't think we've had like a massive blow up, but also we've had other people in the situation, like Drew's dad or last night.
It hasn't really just been you two, right? Because you've been with his dad, and like prior to that, you were at the cabin. So
yep, we've been quarantined at like 2 weeks at a time with people. Like this is coming up on 3 weeks in Kansas, so it's like
that has to be a blessing and a curse, right?
Yeah, like when I had to go back into Minnesota for those 5 days and just stayed by myself at the house. And I like, sent him a picture of me having dinner in the basement or FaceTimed him or something. And he was like, oh, I can't wait to get back on like that couch just to like be in your own space and just cozy. But at the same time, I'm like, it was 84 degrees out yesterday. I'm not going to complain about being able to walk outside.
Yeah.
Lucky bastard.
Yeah, I'm still sweating.
It was snowing this morning in Minnesota.
I know. I'll be back
I
Sunday.
ran in it. It was awful.
Did you yell at anyone this time?
Who was there to yell at? There was nobody on the trail. I had it all to myself this morning as I'm trudging through the snow going, this can't be worth it. I mean, I felt like a champion when I got home, but the whole way I was just like, this effing blows. What about you, Michaela? You got to answer your own question. You don't get out of it.
It probably is about Candy Crush. Like, he's like, he gets actually really mad at me because he's like, you need to stop playing your game. And I can't stop. I'm a loser. I know, but I can't stop.
Get like a Nintendo Switch. Play what's Animal Crossing. Play like a recent game. Like Candy Crush is from, were we in like high school when Candy Crush came out?
Really?
For a long time.
No, it's been a workout. I can't stop.
Pick a new game.
But
That
it's not
is-
going to be the game, right?
No, like he's mad like that I'm spending so much time just staring at my phone, basically.
Yeah.
He like his like thought is like you can't do anything without playing your game, you know. So
Set a limit. I'm telling you.
better.
Set a
We
limit.
go on daily walks and I don't bring my game there, but probably the only time I'm not on it. And
Yeah.
when I'm at work.
And you're thinking about it.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, I know how I can get to that level now.
You're officially addicted.
Oh.
It's a problem. So thankfully this week they haven't given me unlimited lives like they did last week. So we're doing okay this week. My screen time might not be as high.
Do you want to know a tip to have unlimited lives, or should I not tell you it?
Don't tell me.
Okay. I'll
Don't
keep it to myself.
If I get real desperate, you can tell me, but don't tell me.
All right. Text me if you
Have
need
I
it.
told you guys that? I don't think I've told you guys this story. So my mom, I don't know if she still is, but back in the day was really obsessed with Candy Crush. And my dad was checking the bill one day and saw a bunch of iTunes purchases. And he got home and he's like, Patty, you have to talk to Michaela. She's buying music or something on iTunes. And my mom's like, no, it's not Michaela. He goes, what do you mean it's not Michaela? Somebody's buying stuff on iTunes. Like, what is going on? She goes, it's my lives for Candy Crush.
How much did she pay for lives?
Not sure. So when she would run out of lives, she didn't want to wait. So she would go pay for lives with her Apple ID.
That's how they get
Woo!
you.
Well, now we know where you get it from, I guess.
Yes, Patty Granning is a company's dream, basically. God love
Only
her.
one of us would have thought of that. Can you imagine how many millions and millions of dollars they've made from that stupid game?
It'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and it'll never end. Rachel, what's your question?
All right. So I'm in no way quarantine related. If you could be, or had to be, you can phrase it that way as well, on any reality TV show, what would it be? And that could be The Bachelor, Jersey Shore, Keeping Up with the Kardashians, Survivor, any Real Housewives. I don't know if you want to count like American Idol or The Voice or like Guys Grocery Games like a reality show, but we could throw that in there too. So if you had to or got to be on one, which one would it be?
I think for me, it's not a show anymore, and I wish it would come back. I would have been on The Real World.
Ooh.
I know it's like you're stuck with 7 people and stuff, but like
That's like life right now.
Yeah, it really is. And you have no really access to the outside world. I think they had a phone where they could call friends and family, in case of any of emergencies and stuff.
No,
But
that's Jersey Shore with the duck phone.
Oh yeah.
yeah, but I remember like one season of The Real World, somebody's dad died or something like that, so they allowed him to go home for a little bit and then come back. But
Okay.
yeah, but that I think I don't know. It just like looked so fun. Like they really didn't have much responsibility, and you didn't have to worry about anything. It looks like so much fun.
How about you, Amy?
Well, I was thinking about it. Jeff and I were talking about this the other day. Actually, there was something for Survivor, and I said I could never do anything where people are trying to, even though I'd love there to be a prize attached, it'd be really hard for me to play a game where you meet a bunch of people and you know that they're not being their authentic selves and are trying to trick you and get you into.
Yeah.
So because of that, I'm going to discount anything like that. I would say maybe like just to see what it's really like, I would probably choose somebody like the Kardashians, because you're going to get to really see what's happening, first of all. And second of all, you're going to be in such an opulent setting that you'll never be in again in your entire life. The amount of extravagance that we see, I bet it's so much more than that. Can you imagine all the people they have like serving them and working for them, and the amounts of just free designer clothes that are coming in? I mean, there's so much stuff they don't show us. I would like to just get a little peek into that. Be like one of their best friends or dog groomers for a little bit, maybe.
The dog groomer. I like that. I'm kind of in the same boat when it comes to like that lifestyle. I thought being on the OG hills would have been really fun.
Yeah.
And
Laguna
they were like,
Beach, too.
what was that?
Laguna Beach too.
Yeah, and like they were like the hills when they were like 19, 20 years old, and they were same thing, like getting sent a bunch of free stuff, going to like all the VIP parties and the clubs, and they've got the cool apartments and all that. And I was like, that would have been really fun. But I also think I would really kill it on Naked and Afraid.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that. Like all the challenges and stuff like that. That'd be a really fun one to do.
And
Or like
like
Survivor Man or something. I could get with that.
like we've been binge watched Naked and Afraid now, and like I could not do Amazon, like rain, mosquitoes, I would die. But I think
Dogs.
no bugs. But I think if there was like a desert scenario, I could do 21 days. Plus, you're really skinny when you leave.
I think.
All of a sudden, Rachel's getting that when I first met Drew Bod back.
That's what eating bugs and like maybe a crawfish does for you. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Amy,
Okay,
your question.
okay, so mine is just because everybody is obviously spending a lot more time at home with their significant others, and I don't know about you guys, but like the roles that each of us usually has around the house and what one person takes care of and what one person doesn't have changed a lot. So I want to know how has it changed? Like what's something you're doing that maybe you didn't, or your spouse is doing that they didn't do before? And what are you better at when it comes to just household stuff than your significant other, and vice versa?
I can go. We are still like everything's kind of the same as far as the chores and tasks. I'll say we're working out together every single day, which we never do, and that's just because we don't have a home gym. We just have I had ordered bands thankfully a couple months ago, so we have bands and one set of weights. But like the video workouts and things like that, we've just been doing them in the driveway because it's been nice out and just getting outside. So this is like the first time ever that we've like consistently worked out together. Which has been kind of fun. But I'm still like cooking and doing that kind of stuff. When it comes to the household stuff, like I'm definitely the better cook, but Drew cleans up. So it's a give and take. And he's fine to clean as long as I don't use a million pots and pans. But like some meals take a million pots and pans, and there's nothing I can do about it.
I'm cooking more than usual. Only because we're eating shittier food. So last night it was mac and cheese. The night before it was grilled cheese. Like, it's just, I mean, it's not great, but it is what it is. We're surviving. The one chore I do not trust Matt to do is laundry. Because I hang a ton of stuff up and he would never know what to hang up and what can go in the dryer. So that is like one thing I always do, is laundry. But Matt in general is better at like picking up and like keeping organized. I'm better at a deep clean because like when I deep clean, but he's better at keeping things organized and picking up around, whereas I'm a disaster, especially if I'm stressed out. I just throw things everywhere. So the house not great right now. Deep clean's coming this weekend.
It's one of those things when you get done, it's the same with working out. You're like, yeah, I get it. And the lead up is just, it's like you start feeling shitty about the weekend being over Saturday morning. It's just, you start dreading it.
Yep. So.
What are you talking about? It's always the weekend. Michaela's drinking at 2:30 on a Thursday.
Yeah. A day.
How are you, Amy?
Okay. What is the first part? So as far as doing chores around the house, Jeff is doing a ton more, but I've mentioned this before. We have somebody who comes and cleans for us every other week. That's been the biggest loss in just as a household group because of this. So we're doing, instead of cleaning once every other week, which I would just do, we're doing it together. Jeff vacuumed and has twice now for the first time, I think, in our entire marriage. I'm like, here's what we need to do. And we divvy it up and he does half of it and he's good at it and he's fast. And I'm like, what the?
Are you like, here's how the vacuum works. Because when I got our like new vacuum, it was one of the ones that like has to be charged and has like the trigger that you pull and like to go. And I was like, vacuuming the first time I showed Drew, I was like, Drew, here's how the vacuum works in case you ever want to use it. There's no way he's ever used it. No way.
Jeff has decided that he doesn't like the vacuum that we own. He's like, this thing is so clunky. I can't even this. And I was like, well, buy another one. I mean, what do you want me to tell you, bud? You're going to be helping out around here. I know that maybe this isn't your ideal cleaner, but you could do a little research and get a new one. We've had that one now for almost 15 years. So that's been huge. We like divide and conquer. He's been running the dog, which I usually do every day, and he takes over on the weekends. So that's been, I guess I've started doing less and Jeff started doing more, if I'm being totally honest. And then what each person is good at. I hate clutter. You better not put something down because I will throw it into the garbage. Like we don't have any papers anywhere. Like I just like things to be like picked up always. So I'm really good at doing that. And Jeff is, now Michaela, I'm like you though.
I'm glad that we don't live together, Amy.
When I get stressed out, I do the same thing though. I'm like, stuff is everywhere. And it's like, oh, a tornado came through, but I always pick it up pretty quickly. So that being said, much better at that than Jeff because he would keep stuff around if he could. Jeff is really awesome at folding clothes. My clothing looks like amazing, immaculate, bought it at a store folding. And when I do it, it looks just like a 2-year-old picked up a piece of clothing and just like rambled it around. So he's been doing most of that.
I need Jeff to give Drew some lessons. Maybe they can set up a Zoom for later and then he can show him how to do some stuff.
I'm starting to think that folding clothes, it can be taught, but if you're really good at it and it's fast, it's like you're just good at it. So I don't know. All right. I think our time is up because we have other calls and crap like that. So don't forget to follow us on social media and like and subscribe and all those things. You guys have been listening. You've been telling people because we're getting more listens to the podcast and we appreciate that a ton. All right. Don't forget, new episode is up and we'll talk to you again next Thursday. Until next week.
Peace out.